So before I tell you the business reasons why I publish my design ideas instead of patenting them and turning them into products, I'll share some of the reasons why I became interested in design in the first place. Growing up in a family with limited financial resources, design was a path to creating access to things we otherwise couldn't afford. It was a way to transform mundane ingredients into something special. I remember all four of us kids sharing a single room, and my mother making fold-out beds that transformed the small space from an efficient sleeping dorm to a wide-open arts and crafts studio. I remember asking her what's for dinner, and her reply was hexagons. And my brother and I were like, hexagons? I don't think I've ever had hexagons. In reality, it was the same peanut butter sandwiches we had had the night before, but we were excited about this new geometric treat. I remember reading Huckleberry Finn and then building a raft out of 2-liter soda bottles that my brother and I sailed down our local river. Design was about creating access to new things and experiences, no matter how limited the resources. Then I went to architecture school, and design was about theory and concept. As students at the time, we gushed and gossiped about the brilliant design work being commissioned by glamorous brands like Prada and Guggenheim. Design and architecture felt like a elevated and stylish pastime that culminated in exotic destinations and elite clientele. My friends, who would later become my business partners, and I, we were initially intrigued by this presentation of architecture as high art, but we wanted something a little more down to earth. So we became interested in sustainable design, and after graduating, started an architecture firm and began designing high-performance homes. We designed solar-powered, super-insulated homes that produced as much energy as they used. And it was great. We were winning awards, getting published, and our commission and client list was becoming more elite. But these homes were also quite expensive, and often were second homes for our clients. So while the technology was sustainable and progressive, the application of it was a little less noble than what I would have liked. Our conscience was telling us to design sustainably, but our business model was pushing us to primarily deliver it to the wealthy. Now, of course, we did pro bono work. This is a competition that we won to design affordable homes for New Orleans residents displaced by Hurricane Katrina. But this was the exception, and it came with financial consequences. I'm proud of the firm we created. I'm proud of the homes we designed. But I wanted my career to be about creating new opportunities for people, not catering to those who already had them. I don't subscribe to trickle-down economics, so why was I designing for the most privileged and hoping the progressive parts would eventually trickle down? So what to do about it? How could I earn a living designing for people who can't afford to hire me? I remembered one of my architecture professors saying that architects don't make buildings. They make drawings that instruct and motivate. And I realized that, well, drawings are a type of media, and media can be distributed over the internet, and instructing and motivating a lot of people over the internet could be impactful and lucrative. So these were the thoughts in the back of my head when I had a beer with a friend who's a furniture designer, and he complains a lot. He complained that it was impossible to design affordable American-made furniture made out of real materials. He said that the reality of the industry is that you have to do high-end boutique and custom work until you get famous enough that a big retail chain creates a compromised, foreign sweatshop-made, mass-produced knockoff with your name on it. So I bet him. I bet him that I could get 1,000 units of affordable American-made furniture delivered around the country for less than their IKEA counterpart. And he took the bet, because he believed it would be impossible for me to design and deliver something as cheap as IKEA. IKEA has factories, ships, and more than 100,000 employees, all aimed at making the manufacturing and delivery of furniture cheap and efficient. I got myself a few tools. So he took the bet because he believed in order to get a design to the masses, you have to turn it into a product. And in order to make a product, you have to spend time and money on prototyping, manufacturing, shipping, and marketing. He made the bet because he didn't see the shortcut. But I knew I was just going to make a YouTube video. So this is the bucket stool video. Posted it on YouTube, shared it on Facebook. It's a very simple design, can be made for about $5. And very quickly, people around the world started posting proof that my design idea had reached their physical reality. So this project has now been built on 6 different continents, and several small businesses have emerged that produce and sell this design. So I won the bet, but more importantly, well, maybe more importantly, I saw that this could be a business. I was producing media content that motivated, instructed, and resulted in economic activity. In order to build this design, people often had to purchase tools and materials. And since I didn't have the infrastructure to provide them with it, I had to direct them elsewhere. And so my lack of resources actually resulted in a business opportunity. Because I didn't have the infrastructure to compete with IKEA, I had to hijack it from somewhere else. And I chose Home Depot. I designed projects out of materials that are universally available due to the trucks, warehouses, and stores that they are paying for. And the result is digital media content that encourages people to go to their stores and buy stuff. Because I don't have a marketing budget to compete with Target, I had to hijack viewers from BuzzFeed and Pinterest. And because I was creating original media content, they were eager to share it with their millions of viewers. So I was producing design as a type of media, but monetizing it as a type of marketing. And so I began sharing more designs after I signed some nice sponsorship deals with Home Depot, Ryobi, and Quikrete. So we began sharing more designs. We try to focus on things that promote healthy and productive lifestyles, like indoor gardens that water themselves, or make it easy to grow food in small apartments, or durable, sturdy pieces of furniture that can be made affordably but will last a long time. Sometimes, though, we just make things that we think are cool. And the response has been amazing. As of now, our videos have been viewed more than 11 million times in more than 50 different countries. And for me as a designer, it's so much fun. I can have an idea on a Thursday, sketch it on a Friday, build it, film it on a Saturday, edit the video on Sunday, and by Monday, it has reached tens of thousands of people. And the result is digital media content that people choose to watch instead of fast-forwarding through. We are making commercials that people actually want to watch and that teach them how to build something for their home. Still, though, my entrepreneurial friends are always saying, Ben included, you have this big online following. Why don't you just make stuff and sell it to them? They worry that I may run out of good ideas and that I won't have capitalized enough on the ones I already gave away. So they go, why don't just make and sell stuff? You have all these built-in customers. It's 2 reasons. One, from a business perspective, it's lower risk and higher return to make media content that reaches millions than to spend time and money on manufacturing, prototyping, shipping, and marketing. 2, creatively, I get to spend my time on new ideas, not value engineering old ones. Quite simply, this model allows my fiscal future to be firmly grounded in my creative present. If I was to spend time developing products, I would spend months, if not years, on ideas that I already had. And I would see new ideas as distractions, not opportunities. So every once in a while, I still get emails about people that are, quote, stealing my ideas. People that are making my designs and selling them. And I always say that's great. I love it when that happens. Because when other people make and sell my ideas, I get to learn of how they improve them. I get free crowdsourced R&D. So yes, please steal my ideas and make money off of them. Because the surest way to run out of new ideas is to hold on too tightly to old ones. So the last 2 years has probably been the most satisfying of my career. but at times I felt a little bit insecure. I imagined my fancy architecture peers sort of sneering at the idea that my degrees had resulted in YouTubing. Overall, I was comfortable in my decisions, but it did cross my mind that perhaps I'd given up on the possibilities of more traditional peer recognition, and that my emphasis on affordability would feel nice ethically, but eventually confine my creativity. Well, the Vitra Furniture Museum in Switzerland asked if they could use my plywood and zip-tied chairs, which can be made for about $25, for an exhibition and workshop that teaches people how to design and make. And while I may never get to design a Prada store, I did get to work with supermodel Coca Rocha, who wanted some bucket stools for her own home. And what's great isn't that my work is in museums or fancy people's homes. It's that it is desirable to people and institutions that have lots of options, yet attainable to those that don't. And that was the goal all along, to create aspirational things that anyone can afford. So yes, it still does feel silly sometimes to be a YouTuber. But then hexagon-shaped sandwiches and rafts made out of soda bottles are pretty silly. But at the time, they defied economic limitations and delivered surprise and delight out of the mundane and common. So I guess I should thank my mom for showing me why to share design. Thanks.